Happy birthday, Daddy.
I believe that the things we struggle with, our weight, addictions, etc., comes from pain from our past, from trauma. I've been on an incredible healing journey since 2016, finding my way to a better me.
Today, I realized that I needed to have some closure, and I decided to celebrate my dad's birthday. I first wanted to start by writing him a letter, so I'm going to read what I wrote. Hello, Daddy. Happy birthday. It's a beautiful day today. The sun is shining brightly. I think that you would be proud of me. Your shy daughter started using her voice to help others, and by doing so, I took back my power. I think about your message of letting go and not reopening the wounds. Sometimes it's hard not to. It's hard not to, Daddy. Here I am thinking about your message that you sent me on your birthday last year. I can see now that I fight against myself, my own inner conflict. Thank you for showing me the way, Daddy. I couldn't see it before, that you were doing the best that you could at that time. You didn't have control over your own mind. How hard it must have been for you. Daddy, I've been learning about my heart journey. My journey isn't about my mind, body, and spirit. It's about heart, mind, and soul. I know that I need to forgive more often, and that starts with forgiving myself for loving myself right where I am. Today, I celebrate you, Dad, because I didn't get to have that gift while you were here on earth. I love you, Daddy. Your daughter, Debbie. I didn't know what I would be writing when I started writing, and I have it in this beautiful dragonfly notebook. I just let whatever came to my mind flow and just wrote it out on paper. I do believe that all our weight problems, addictions come from past trauma. That's just my own experience in my own journal, my own journey. Why I eat, why I go to food for comfort, why I turn to sugar for comfort. It's something that I started doing when I was very young as a child. I just really wanted to share that because maybe someone is dealing with, they didn't have a great relationship with their parents like I did, and they need to find some closure. Sure, I could have kept all this private and, kept it to myself, but I believe in giving back because it is important to give back and help others. And how can I be using my voice if I'm keeping certain things to myself? And that's not the type of person I want to be. And yes, I will be having a piece of that. It's called the Mississippi mud cake. So yeah, I'm going to be having a little bite of this. And then I'll probably give the rest to my husband because he loves sweets. But I think it's just so important to have that closure. And my dad did send me a message last year through creative writing. I was just like, I don't even know if you call it creative writing. I was just like, all this stuff was flowing through my mind, and I felt that I should go back and like decipher it. And I started circling all these words, and it was about letting go and to stop reopening my wounds, because I had been doing that for so long. Because when you are a victim of trauma, I don't even want to say victim, but if you're a survivor of trauma, you can still get trapped in your mind because you replay things. I still have certain triggers. Certain things will really, hit me, and I have to work through those triggers. And sometimes it's talking myself through something right then and there. I don't want to get into what it is, but some people don't know you're going through this. They don't know that you're working yourself through a trigger because you keep it to yourself. So I recently shared something that to someone close to me, that I worked myself through something at certain times. And, it's not always easy, but I believe that you can heal and that you can move forward. The first thing you have to do, that first step, is you have to get out of your mind. You have to, whether it's, writing it on paper. Think about it. Singers, artists, they write songs to release stuff. In the same way, you can do the same thing. Just release what you're feeling and, put it on paper. You can, tear it up, burn it somewhere safely, whatever, whatever speaks to your heart. And growing up, we didn't celebrate birthdays. It wasn't a religious thing. My parents just didn't do it. A lot of things happened with my parents, and I still, would pick my dad up to bring my dad to my firstborn, my son's football games, and to his birthdays, my son's birthdays, because I believed in celebrating the birth of my children, because every birth, every life deserves to be celebrated. And that's kind of my way of honoring my dad. He didn't get that. I don't know if he had it as a child. I don't know. He had his own emotional trauma. He suffered with mental illness. He was, I think it was back then, it was called manic depressant. He was paranoid schizophrenia. Schizophrenia. I don't know if, like, paranoid and schizophrenia is the way you call it, the term, or is it just schizophrenia? But yeah, he suffered with that, and it was hard growing up as a child. It wasn't easy. We didn't know my dad had mental illness at the time when we were younger. It wasn't until I got older that I started, he started getting help. So yeah, it's been a journey, and I believe that you can move forward. You can grow. You can be a better person. We have a little thing with hummingbirds, so I think I just saw one, a little hummingbird feeder. And I always get messages from my dad on his birthday, usually in the form of butterflies. Although I haven't seen them yet, I know that I will. And when I read this, I did start crying, because it's okay. Release your emotions. We're all taught to be strong. We need to be strong, that we shouldn't cry. But that's not true. It's okay to cry. It's okay to show emotions. I need to make a video on something that I'm learning about just pain with my tooth extraction, how I hold in my pain. And it's okay to cry. It's okay to not be super strong. It's okay to show weakness. It's part of being human. It's part of who we are. So don't beat yourself up if you're I let my girls cry now if they have to cry. I don't say, hey, stop that. Oh, suck it up. I don't think I've ever told them suck it up. But, don't cry. I've told them that. No, that's not good. In my opinion, don't tell your children not to cry, because if not, they're bottling all this emotion inside of them. It needs to be released, because if not, it's going to maybe be released in some way that's not good for them, addictions and stuff. It's okay to feel. It's okay to let the emotions flow. And that's what I do now. I've been told before, hey, don't cry. You crying again? And, I literally had to say, I can cry. I'm allowed to express that. I'm allowed to feel those emotions. That's how I deal with something. That's how I deal with a certain thing. So if you have to tell someone that, go ahead, more power to you, because it's not weakness to cry. It's okay to cry. So, will you join me? You can have your healthy cake, or whatever kind of cake you want. I'm not going to lie, this is not healthy cake, but, I wanted to do something special, and I didn't have time to bake anything. This just came to me, I don't even know how many days ago, that I should do this. And so I'm going to enjoy it. Mississippi mud. It's really good. I need a glass of unsweetened almond milk to go with my sweetness. I have some sugar-free coconut ice cream too. Booyah! Well, thank you so much for joining me. Let me just take a sip. Isn't that so cute? Yeah, I'm 57, so you know, you never know when God's going to work through your life and you start healing. It's been an amazing journey. It's been what I would call before, I would call it painfully beautiful, because you're going through this pain, you're going through this trauma, you're going through these emotions. And then when you can get out of that funk and you get to the other side, you see so much beauty. Thank you for joining me. I love you so very much. I thank you for your support. I thank you for being here. I thank you for joining me. And I believe that we can all get fit and healthy together. So just start in this moment, even though I'm eating cake. Let's make some changes. It's okay. Cut yourself some slack. Be grateful. Well, I put my phone on airplane mode and I did not know that your alarm will go off. I made a promise to someone at 3:33 every day that I would think positive thoughts. So I'm going to close right now and do exactly what I promised. Have an amazing day. I love you. Subscribe if you like this video. Share it to help others. Have an amazing day. Be blessed. Get your fitness on.